everybody, here we are again, another podcast that we want to share with you. And of course, our series has been a lot about who's inspiring us. And I think this podcast, we have who's inspiring us, but also what is inspiring us as well. So we're going to step through each of the pillars then, Amy, and break them down and say, what is it that we do to keep us on track for optimal living, right? Hopefully that's what you gain from this at the end of this podcast. So
yeah, whether it's books, podcasts that we listen to,
right,
people we follow. So yeah,
and what it looks like for us on a daily basis. So the breathe pillar obviously is the first one, and we're going to dissect that for you guys. Do you want to jump in there?
Yeah. So for us, the breathe pillar, I think, has always been kind of our foundation and our start to our pillars: the breathe, eat, move, sleep. And so
I like you also say it's kind of the one that has maybe the biggest impact. We definitely know telomeres and stress, and I mean, right?
Yes.
I'm just repeating what you've told me.
Yeah. The others, I think they build upon it. If it is out of balance, it can. Even if you're doing the other three perfectly,
right,
we know that, if stress can just kind of keep everything stirred up and tipped and imbalanced. So,
right. If you're running a marathon every month, but your stress is out of control, that might not cause you to live a long, healthy life. Or be in your blue zone, as you would say lately.
Yeah, so gosh, where to start on our breathe? Because we were stepping through it. I think that one had our biggest list.
We have a few things here to talk about.
People, books, or podcasts. Let's start with some podcasts.
You're a podcast person.
I'm a podcast person. I listen to podcasts all the time. When I'm cleaning, when I'm driving, when I'm settling in, anyway. But the first two that came to mind, of course, we love Deepak Chopra.
Yeah, he has great words.
I love his books. We're going to talk about one of his books, but I love his podcast, The Daily Breath. So that's one I would definitely recommend people check out. And then
is it the accent or is it the words that he's actually saying?
It's so relaxing, and he breathes on it, and it's wonderful. Don't listen to it while you're driving. I was like one time, I was not getting it in, and
don't do that.
Yeah, he's like, get you so relaxed. I was like, I shouldn't listen to this driving. And then us being Catholic, we like to. It's been harder, more of a challenge to get to Mass with the world
the
being
virtual
the way
world's
it is
made
for
it
the
easier.
past 2 years. So we've done some of that, but I do love Father Mike Schmidt, and his podcasts are phenomenal. So if you're Catholic and you're looking for somebody that I think helps center me.
Is that SCHMITZ? Yeah.
And so it's a great way to just center me and during the week. So he has I don't know if they're every day, but they're really good.
Well, as Christians, we talk about the readings. They're really meditations, right? And so giving us something to kind of focus in on. That is the meditation in the West. And then a lot of times when we talk yoga, that would be a concentration practice, right? And then it gets kind of confusing, right? Whereas in the West here, meditation then leads to contemplation, which is what we generally in yoga call meditation. So meditation in the East is equivalent to contemplation in the West. So for those listening.
Right. Book-wise, Deepak, again, for our 500 hour, we've been using this book. Actually, for the 200 hour and the 500 hour.
Since 2010, we've been using that.
That is
and I think the book came out in 2007.
Did it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's powerful. We read it every year over.
I think the power in it is it's simple. Right, so many times it doesn't have to be complicated. Don't make it complicated. If it feels complicated, it's going to be too much.
And it's not about religion, a specific religion. It is about your own inner spirit and your spiritual journey.
Right.
So it's great. I don't know. What about you as far as
I don't really
books?
do a podcast. Oh,
no,
books.
I
do Audible.
Yeah.
So yeah, my inspirations, out of the gate was Thomas Merton. Franciscan monk. Of course, Amy and I like to go down to Gethsemane on these silent retreats. and which, of course, 2,000 acres doesn't hurt. That you get to get out in nature and to do some of that stuff. So, yeah, he was a Franciscan monk there. Definitely more of a contemplative journey, right? Mystics and stuff. But he's written so many great books. He just really, really inspires me. I'm kind of wired in that same vein as his writing. Some people read it and it's like, I don't get this.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love it. And I think who inspired him then was Richard Rohr. And now he's also a Franciscan monk, but a priest as well. Well, they were both priests. And so I follow him often. I get his daily email, right? And just a nice little meditation, just something to read to kind of ground you in on this journey of life. But he's got great books. So I tee up Audible a lot and just listen to that in the car. And so I know that he is big on St. Paul, and so, you know, I really enjoy that a lot. And so those writings, and then I think also, just like you were saying, the Catholic Mass, had a lot of inspirations. There's a lot of symbology in the Mass, and the ability to just connect at this unseen level. Of course, that's what we believe as Catholics, right? I mean, you're transforming the wine and the bread, and we're bringing in this, this more more of the unseen into this world. And so I definitely like that a lot. I know that the Insight Timer, I use that for my meditations in the morning. And so I usually do a 40-minute moving meditation that leads into, 20-minute moving meditation that leads into a 20-minute still meditation. And I was just looking the other day, I've logged 82,000 minutes on Insight Timer. So that's just a handful.
That is a lot.
Over the few years that I've been using it. So.
And it has
it's evolved.
It has music now. There's guided meditation.
The Nidra stuff that we talk about, which is relaxation, guided relaxation.
I want to get a
stuff.
book. I want to talk about. Sorry, as we're doing this book. Since we're on breath, I was given this by a dear friend, and it's a really good book too on breath, and it just really hones in on the importance of our breath and what it does for us and how important it is for our health. We talk a lot, we guide our patients a lot in like just 2 minutes of doing some breath work every day and stillness, but this is really neat. It's the science behind the breath.
Right.
So this would be a great book somebody might want to check out.
Of course, if you're listening to this, and we've done some coaching sessions today, you've heard me say this a million times. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I didn't say. That's right. Some people may be just listening, so we should probably say it's Breath by James Nestor, The New Science of a Lost Art. That's the book, Breath. Sorry, go ahead.
No. And so, I mean, we're big on a practice, and I know you and I do this on a daily basis ourselves, which is total relaxation physically, mentally, emotionally. And trying to hold that longer than 2 minutes or whatever, right? Which is why we say our minimum entry point is 2 minutes of stillness a day, right? But to be able to do that helps you to reset and to remember what is home base for relaxation. And most of us as Americans, we get lost in the stress. It's just, it consumes us and it overtakes us. And you don't have to be that way. You have total autonomy. And you can manage stress, and we can show you the tools and the techniques that we use on a daily basis to do it. It's very doable. You might not think it is, but it is very doable.
So breath. We're doing a lot every day.
And every week,
this is focusing
definitely
on our breath.
Home base,
but hopefully
sure.
These are some good resources and inspirations that will resonate.
Right, and we do the yoga teacher training, so we're certifying people as, experts, PhDs in breathe pillar, right? So we're doing that at the 200 and the 500 hour level. So we're excited to be sharing that with people. I think the other one too, that the Dalai Lama, I've always been intrigued with, I think the Buddhist journey, the surrender, the ability to not be so attached to things and to be able to flow more easily through that detachment. You're attached, but you're not hanging on to everything that happens around you. So I've really enjoyed, I know Your sister's met the Dalai Lama, has worked with him.
We heard him talk.
We did the talk down in Indy. It was awesome. I mean, it's just, sweet,
so neat.
Sweet person. And what a great example and a great leader, right?
He's
so
very
we need more of that.
joy-filled, isn't he?
Of course, playful.
He is
childlike.
playful. He giggled up there on the stage. And that was neat.
In his big chair. All right.
Okay, on to eat.
Well, you're the eat person. Well, let me start.
Yes.
The person that inspires me on the eat is you.
Aww.
I mean, it's all about you, right? I mean, with regards to, you're the one that integrates this into the family. I mean, I kind of know what to do after you tell me what to do.
You've learned a lot.
I know, right? I'm kind of smart with this stuff now. Go ahead.
Well, I love it. To me, again, I say this all the time, but food is medicine. And so I just love the fact of, if you change your relationship with food and look at the whole reason we eat is we're nourishing our body, looking at the nutrient density and how all of these foods actually help everything from like our muscles and tissues and organs to our hormones to our energy and to our regeneration. And so
it's kind of complicated.
It's so complicated, but it's so neat and it's so amazing the more you learn. And like when we show people the rainbow, I think they're just so fascinated how all these different colors in the foods and how they have a medicinal property. I just love that. So anyways, my new thing this year that is really inspiring me is this whole Blue Zones work that's out. This Blue Zones challenge by Dan Buettner and my under Eat, I'll get back to that, but under Eat there's the Blue Zones Kitchen. I just got this recipe book.
Well, you're getting serious, Amy. There's a hardback book.
I know. It's beautiful. And it has all these beautiful like recipes. And so what the Blue Zones are, there are 5 regions in the world. He works with National Geographic and he studied this. He was intrigued with where people live the longest, the healthiest. So it's all these centenarians, people that live to be 100 or greater, but they're healthy. And so there are 5 areas. It's in Sardinia, Italy. There's a place in Costa Rica. There's Loma Linda in California. There's Okinawa, Japan, and in Greece. There's someplace in Greece. So anyway, he looked at that, and there are all these traits of people that live in these blue zones that he studied, and a lot of it has to do with the lifestyle, but then he's got this cookbook that talks all about the food. And it's interesting, a lot of it's very heavy on like plant-based, plant-rich, which is what we talk about in our 4 pillars anyway, getting rid of sugar and processed food. And then this was interesting, so this is something I'm inspired to start doing for us, is they all have a serving of beans a day, some type of lentils or legumes or beans. And
there's a lot of protein. A cup of beans, I think it was pinto beans, is like 39 grams of protein.
Gosh,
it's a lot.
See, look how much you know more than me.
Well, you got to remember though, expands, right? I mean, that's probably dry.
Oh, a cup dry, yeah. So when we eat it, usually we say like a third to half a cup because they are, starchy, but they're full of fiber too. So anyway, that is something I'm really inspired to read. And when we get back, in a week, we're going to do this Blue Zones challenge for a month.
All right,
and
there it is.
It's really neat. I would encourage people to check out this book.
We'll have to tell you how it goes.
It has, it's like journaling and day-to-day things
Amy's
that you're
usually the
looking
one
at.
that's really good, and then I'm the one that kind of cheats here and there. Generally.
Can I share one little thing in here? Oh,
of
gosh,
course.
if I can find it. I love this. There's these Power 9, and it's basically 9 traits of these communities that live to 100. And one is they move naturally, and we're going to talk about that with move. Number 2 is purpose. Why I wake up in the morning, your purpose. 3, and they all downshift. They find ways to take breaks or naps or siestas, whatever. But they take a little break and they don't work 120% all day and go to bed.
You've got the new infusion chairs. You can take your little break during the day.
I love that. They're recliners. 80% rule, they eat until they stop eating when their stomach is 80% full. Plant stand. They basically, again, plant-based diet with the beans included and soy and lentils. wine at 5, mild to moderate, low to moderate drinking. So 1 to 2 glasses of red wine. They did find that a lot of them did that. The trick
live
is
longer.
what they said: moderate drinkers outlive non-drinkers. The trick is to drink 1 to 2 glasses per day with friends and no more, not to drink excessively. And you can't save it all up and have 14 drinks on Saturday, he says right here. And then they all belong to some type of either a faith-based community or something. Component. They put their loved ones.
That's different than social media.
Okay. And they put their loved ones first. And then the right tribe, I love this. The world's longest people chose or were born into social circles that support healthy behaviors. I love that. Finding a social network that can help encourage you.
That's what we're doing, right? We've got this amazing community of people, the patients and us. I mean, it's a great group of people. We're grateful for you guys.
So anyway, I'm really inspired.
Green bean delivery would be another one that inspires me. I mean, only because I carried in every week.
I love it.
I think that was one of our
it's
podcasts.
Making our life
easier.
It is one of our podcasts. And you can order on there. For those that don't know what it is.
Amy does all this too. It's
fresh,
kind of what she does. It gets online.
It comes with a fresh, every week they're like,
yeah, you don't have to
so
get
many
online. They'll send you stuff.
That automatically, and usually it's seasonal. So like we got apples, and I think we got some broccoli, which I don't know if that's necessarily seasonal, but squash.
You'll get
lettuce, always,
the
and
organic
fruit.
Grass-fed beef.
And then you can add on,
I know,
so
right?
we can add on all kinds of,
Oat
now
milk.
they have dry goods, they have frozen goods, so you can do all your grocery shopping through there if you're busy.
Right.
And they deliver it to our door.
And they try to do, I think you said this though, the local organic, I mean, as best as possible.
Yeah, especially like
it's as best as possible.
They have a lot of the local farmers in Indiana, Ohio,
very
and
supportive
Kentucky,
of that.
and they try to get their produce and
Small
their meat.
farming.
And it's got the nice grass-fed meat. So
Aldi, I love that find, right?
It is. It's shocking.
I can go
how
and
much
shop in like 15 minutes. It's a tiny store, right? And it's everything you need.
True.
It's not like a bunch of extra fluff that they're trying to sell you because you got to walk all the way down this long aisle to get to something.
And they have a lot of organic, grass-fed eggs.
We got our
meat
goat and sheep cheese there.
Goat and sheep cheese. They have gluten-free options. They're really, it's great.
They're
You just got to remember your quarter for your grocery card.
Well, I went the other day, forgot a quarter, and he's like, just come on in, we'll get you a card. All right, well, that's nice. So, but yes, the quarter to get the card is
you
helpful.
get it back.
This is true.
So, and a couple other things that I use a lot, and they're inspiring to me. I think Dr. Hyman, everybody knows that he's an inspiration to me as a physician, as a person, just what he's doing for this world, and in the eat world, he's trying to really make a change in just how food's manufactured, and he's gone and talked, to the government or in the White House, and he's really trying to make some changes for us as a nation. So he's amazing. He has great recipes and cookbooks. The detoxinista.com, that is, it's a website that I love. She has so many great, they're clean eating, they're gluten-free, dairy-free, I would say, almost all of them. And she has anything from, like a meal to great snacks, and even if you want desserts or whatever. So she's great. They're really easy, and I've never made anything of hers that wasn't wonderful. So she's my go-to.
All right. Are we moving on? Moot pillar? Let's move on to the moot pillar. For us, we generally try to get some cardio. We used to do the LA Fitness thing way back in the day, right? And that was, usually we'd go in, do the 20 minutes of cardio, about 10 minutes of strength training, and then 10 minutes of stretching, and then we were out the door. So it was about 40 minutes usually. But we've been doing a lot more, since we're not doing that anymore, we've been doing a lot more of the home stuff, and Chloe Ting on YouTube is the one that Lucy did that. We just fire her up, and she's got anything from 10 minutes to 30, I guess, 20. But it's a lot of core. So they call it HIIT, right? High intensity interval training. And it's muscle confusion. It's just a bunch of random little exercises. You're on for 30 seconds, off for 10 usually, and it works. I mean, it's helpful. It keeps us toned for sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll usually do that.
You don't need a big space.
No. And then we'll go in the basement and then get out the free weights and do 6 or 7 minutes of free weights, and we're done.
Yeah.
That's it. And then we also do our yoga, right? We do like our hot yoga. I mean, I'm kind of I love the Ashtanga, Bikram style of class. So, of course, we do like the hot room locally and being able to go in there. And we like the sweat of it, right? Which is the benefit there.
Cleansing, detoxing.
And then also I just love the 26 postures that you have to walk through. They're actually considered a yoga therapy class. Originally, but obviously they're kind of difficult. If you haven't done it before, get a hold of us, so we'll let you know what you're getting into.
Yes.
But it is life-changing. I think it's a great class as well. So, and then you have been so funny. We're getting more feedback on the exercise snack thing.
That's right.
What are you doing?
Well, it was back to this whole blue zones thing, and again, moving naturally is one of the biggest traits of these centenarians and those that live in these blue zones and living so long and healthy. And, they live where most of them don't have all this technology, or they grow their own food, they work outside, they go make their wine, or they work on their farm, or whatever it is. And so that moving naturally, so they've come up with this idea, they call them exercise snacks.
It's kind of fun.
So, it's not that you have to go spend 40 or minutes or an hour at the gym, but periodically moving through the day. Maybe while you're cleaning, or Jacob sets an alarm and he gets 4 times a day, stops and goes and does, what do you say,
30 push-ups.
Push-ups. And so whether it's doing something like that, like setting a little timer or an alarm, and it reminds you to get up, maybe go up and down the steps if you're at home working, or get up and walk around the office, or go outside and walk around the building. But just and I can't remember, honestly, I think it was literally almost every hour trying to.
Well, and that's why our watches go off and say, hey, move.
Move.
Get up and move. You need to stand. And so I think, too, and I tell people this a lot when we do the coaching, which is we are in the winter months here, and your body naturally is not motivated. It wants to conserve energy. It doesn't understand we still have food around every corner, right? I mean, it's trying to think, look, generally when it's cold, there's not a lot of food. We're going to conserve. You're going to slow down, right? And so if you're not motivated right now in the winter, it's not personal. It's how you're wired, so just be okay with that. And then use these exercise snacks.
Yes.
If your watch goes and says stand, not only stand, but do some air jacks where you just kind of bring the arms up and bend the knees and then come back to standing, right? Or whatever it gets to be. Air squats, I mean, all these lunges, just something. Don't just walk down the hall, get a cup of coffee and come back.
Right, do something.
Wall push-ups if you're at work. If you can get on the floor like Jacob and do them, your traditional push-ups, and you can do them, or your chaturangas if you're a yoga person.
When I'm brushing my teeth, or when I'm doing laundry.
Oh my God, you were just doing that the other day. That was like what are you doing? You're funny.
Because I was like, I didn't.
Exercise snack.
I did
right there while you were brushing your teeth.
When I was brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the shower when I'm letting my shampoo. So, but yes, so it is, get creative and just move.
Right.
But also working on getting that heart rate up. We talk about that target heart rate for 14 minutes is what really lengthens those telomeres. And that's part of our longevity, right? We want longer telomeres, longer health span, longer lifespan.
And we obviously have a good arsenal of videos that we can share with you, and we usually do that when we do the coaching stuff. So I think we got about 100 videos now that we can share with you.
From
so get into your coaching session with me, and we'll start sharing some of that stuff. Sleep pillar. You like sleeping.
I like sleeping. I like quality sleep. It's been getting better.
I know, right?
Yeah, and I do.
Because
I think
of your
Insight
new job?
Timer, maybe my new job, and it is definitely. I feel like life is a little more balanced now, and the Insight Timer is something that I've used a lot. The Yoga Nidra on there is wonderful. Sometimes just listening to the relaxing music. What's the one Is it on delta waves or something like that, or theta waves?
Well, usually your alpha waves is the one
alpha
that
waves. Maybe
is
it
the
is
yoga
waves.
nidra.
But there's
frequency.
one that has, I think it is alpha waves. It's
well, it's
just
probably
that
alpha or
music
theta.
tuned to your alpha or your theta.
Alpha is
and you can
super
listen
conscious,
to it.
and then your theta is the lead-in into unconscious.
I think they have both, but that's neat. It just has like these vibrations and these tones that are supposed to help
get you there
with that, which are the certain brain waves that are
right.
In more that relaxed or sleep state.
Right.
So yeah.
I think the Apple Watch does well. I do generally. Set a, what do they call that? Where you say, I want to go to bed at this time.
It's your bedtime
and then it
timer.
sets a do not disturb, which is handy. So after 9, generally my do not disturb is on for anyone that wants to get a hold of us. You got to call before then or text.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to chat with us about medical stuff. And then it comes. I come back online around 5:15. So, but that's helpful.
And an hour before, it'll chime and say,
get ready.
It's bedtime reminder.
Right?
That's
I think
something
30
like
minutes.
that. Okay. But it's nice.
For me, mine's 30 minutes.
It just helps us settle in, because before you know it, it's late.
And then the Insight Timer, of course, we have the Nidra exercises, the practice that helps us to find relaxation and remember what it means in the brain. But the Insight Timer has a bunch of them. YouTube has a bunch of them as well. For us to use as a practice. But you want to get to the point after you've done the guided long enough, you just want to do it on your own. That's what you and I do, right? You figure it out, okay, I'm physically relaxing, mentally relaxing or concentrating, and then emotionally relaxing. And that becomes the practice. Super powerful. It's the most powerful thing I think we can show people. Your aura ring, that's new.
That is something that I've had a few patients using, and I've heard about it for quite a while, and I know Dr. Hyman has talked about it too. So that's something that I'm inspired to get
more on the aura ring.
Use. And it literally is a ring.
I know.
And it you wear it day, night. It looks at your heart rate, your body temperature, your heart rate variability. So that can help you basically try to lower your stress, get out of that fight or flight. It gives you feedback on how your stress level and how your overall health and fitness and all that is. So, and then your sleep quality.
Okay.
So, yeah, stay tuned. Maybe we'll get it and try it, and then we can talk about that in the future.
So that's kind of a summary of what we do across our pillars on a daily basis, across the weekly
what
basis.
We're being inspired by right now.
Yeah, and if any of these sound intriguing or you want to learn more, we can definitely deep dive into some of this stuff and give you some more information. We are wishing you guys a wonderful day and a wonderful week. If you have any other topics, definitely let us know. If you're getting this through YouTube, it's the subscribe button. Definitely like us and all that stuff. So wishing you a wonderful day. Take care.